Hey everyone. So, with the new artifact mods coming out, I wanted to make a build that utilizes the new artifact mod, Solar Fulmination. Ignitions do increased damage and an increased radius, and I want to keep things fresh. I want to make new, unique, and fun builds. So, to go along with ignitions, I want to incorporate some shatter damage from crystals as well. A few things you'll get out of this build are strong ad control, high damage, high ability uptime, survivability, and flexibility. What's nice about this build is you can fine tune it to your liking. You can change it up depending on the activity you're doing, and it's very nice. So let's get into the build. So since this build revolves around ignitions, we'll want to have different ways to scorch our combatants. This is easily done on the solar subclass, but I want to take advantage of prismatic. Starting with our abilities on the prismatic subclass, we'll be using knife trick and swarm grenade. I found that the most consistent ways to ignite were with 2 uses of the knife trick, or a kill with incandescent along with the swarm grenade and knife trick. To make sure we have our knife trick more frequently, we'll be using Gambler's Dodge, and we will also be taking advantage of Spirit of Inmost Light for higher ability uptime. The second perk doesn't matter too much, but I like Spirit of Coyote, Ceradarachne, Synthoceps, and Verity. Spirit of Inmost Light is what really matters, so as long as you have that, you're good to go. This will allow us to spam our abilities and Scorch more frequently. For most of the gameplay, I am using Spirit of Coyote, so I will be having 2 dodges. For our first aspect, we'll be using Gunpowder Gamble for even more ignitions, and then we'll also be getting this quickly from our ability spam and our weapons. Our second aspect will be Winter's Shroud, and the reason for this being is to get our class ability back quicker when we slow enemies. This is a 300% class ability regen increase for 3 seconds. More dodges equals more knives, and it's also nice that we're applying slow to feed our Gunpowder Gamble. To make our Gunpowder Gamble and our ignitions even better, we'll be using Facet of Ruin to increase the area of effect of our ignitions, and it will also increase the size and damage of the burst when we shatter a stasis crystal or frozen target. And to synergize with that, we'll be using Verglus Curve. Final blows with this will grant stasis arrows, which will freeze combatants on direct hit, or create a crystal on impact with the environment. If you don't have this weapon, that's okay. This build is strong without it. That's what's nice about this build. You can use it with other weapons. If you do decide to not use Verglus Curve, I highly recommend something with Headstone. What's nice about creating crystals, when we get kills with those crystals from the shatter, it will feed our Gunpowder Gamble. For our other fragments, we'll be using Facet of Awakening. Rapid Light and Darkness Final Blows generate elemental pickups of the matching damage type, so we'll be getting Stasis Shards and Fire Sprites. Then we have Facet of Courage. Our light abilities will do increased damage to the targets afflicted by darkness debuffs, and this is a 10% damage increase. We'll be applying slow and freeze with our dodge and with our Verglus Curve. Up next, we have Facet of Balance. Rapid Light Final Blows grant melee energy, and Rapid Darkness Final Blows grant grenade energy. This will just help with high ability uptime. And then the 2 staples of my prismatic builds, Facet of Protection and Facet of Purpose. Facet of Protection for damage resistance when we're surrounded, and Facet of Purpose for an elemental survivability buff based on our super when we pick up an orb. I recommend using Storm's Edge to get amplified. We don't have another source to get amplified. The reason I recommend amplified is because of Galvanic Armor. This will give us a 30% damage resistance, and it will also have the longest duration at 15 seconds. For our other weapons alongside Verglus Curve, I recommend anything with Incandescent for more scorching and ignitions. If you have the new Rocket Sidearm Aberrant Action with Incandescent, I highly recommend it. If you're going the route of not using Verglus Curve, you can use Still Hunt with Incendiary Rifle rounds and Sniper's Meditation. With just 4 precision hits with Still Hunt, that will cause an ignition, which is what we're after. Now moving on to armor mods. On our cloak, we're using Powerful Attraction to collect orbs when we dodge, and then Reaper to generate an orb on weapon kill after we dodge, and Bomber to reduce our grenade cooldown when we dodge. Moving on to boots, Absolution for all ability cooldown on orb pickup, Innervation for grenade cooldown on orb pickup, and then Recuperation for health on orb pickup. On the chest piece, just use whatever damage resistance mods that you'd like, and then for the gauntlets, we have 2 stacks of Impact Induction for grenade cooldown on powered melee hits, and then Heavy-Handed for orbs on powered melee final blows. Finally, on our helmet, Stasis and Solar Siphons for more orbs, and then Powerful Friends to help your teammates get armor charges when you pick up an orb. For your stats, I always recommend Tier 10 Resilience, and then follow that with Discipline and Mobility. For the artifact mods, we'll want Galvanic Armor for damage resistance when we're amplified, and then Radiant Orbs to become radiant when we pick up an orb, Shield Crush for faster grenade charge and more damage when we're amplified or radiant, and then Creeping Chill is a must if you're using Verlost Curve. Stasis Weapon Final Blows against slowed or frozen targets release a burst that slows, and you can use this with another Stasis Weapon in combination with the slow from our dodge. And then of course the newest artifact mod, Solar Fulmination for increased damage and radius from our ignitions. If you're using a Solar Sniper Rifle, you can use Incendiary Rifle Rounds and Sniper's Meditation. That covers everything for the build. For the gameplay loop, it's pretty simple. I like to start off with our grenade, and then follow that with a knife trick, which is followed by a dodge. And you'll get a feel for the ability spam the more you play the build. And then you'll want to pop Transcendence when you get it. You'll be able to spam a lot of knife tricks, and your grenade will be doing slow and scorch. So you'll be creating ignitions a lot when you're Transcendent. And then, yeah, that's pretty much everything for the build. Hope you guys liked it. It's honestly a lot of fun. It's very versatile, very flexible. You can use it in a lot of different environments, and you can cater it to whatever activity you're doing. Make sure to like and subscribe if you like the video, and I will see you in the next one.